Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me at an Electrify America station with a Hyundai IONIQ 5. This is my friend Zach's car that we've been making a whole bunch of videos with, and today is the Coldgating video. What Coldgating means is when you plug in an electric car to a DC fast charging station, such as these behind the vehicle, it can't accept full power. And certain cars accept less power in the cold, and certain have better chemistries and allow for faster charging. What we're gonna do is tell you our testing procedures for this. It's not 100% scientific, but we did our best to simulate a real world experience. And we wanna see how slowly the IONIQ 5 charges, at least with the US spec, because I've heard in the European spec cars that it's really bad. So let's look into it. Hey guys, want to tell you about one of our new channels. It's called Out of Spec Scoots, and we review e-bikes all the way down to cool contraptions like this and scooters. Woo! So take a look at it on YouTube, Out of Spec Scoots. So here's our thought process on how we conducted this test. It got really cold last night, down to 7 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's just warming up now. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning to 31. So we have a pretty quick warm-up period. But the car sat outside all night, overnight. What Zach did is he drove it on the highway at 70, 75 miles an hour yesterday up to Wyoming and back. What state of charge did you stop driving with?
Last night it sat with 32.
So it sat with 32% overnight, which is pretty common. And it cold-gated to 28%. We're gonna insert a clip of Zach getting into the car here.
Good morning and welcome to Fort Collins, Colorado. It's pretty cold out here this morning. Show the car when I get in it and what state of charge it's at. It's been sitting out in my driveway all night, super cold. So let's jump in and see where we're at. Ooh, so cold in here. Yikes. Leather seats really make it cold in the morning. So this is the first start this morning. It's been sitting outside all night. We're at 28% charge and it's 26 degrees. So like I said, it's been sitting out all night. We're gonna go to the DC fast charger at Electrify America in Loveland, Colorado, and we'll see you there.
And what that will show is sort of what he experienced in the morning coming over to the charger. So the morning started at 26 degrees Fahrenheit, well under freezing. He drove the car 15 miles here to the Electrify America station. A couple things about the IONIQ 5. It currently does not do any sort of battery en route warm-up preconditioning. What that means is in Mercedes EQS, in Taycan, in Polestar 2 XC40 Recharge, any Tesla, when you put in a fast charger, the car says, oh, I need to charge really fast. So I'm gonna warm up the battery pack, burn a little extra juice running the battery heater so that when you do plug in the car, it charges at least as fast as it possibly can given the external temperatures. The IONIQ 5 does not do this right now, at least for the US cars. And it will do this with a software update over the air at some point, we're told. But the big question is, this thing sat overnight, got down to 7 degrees Fahrenheit. The battery pack is probably around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We don't have any OBD dongles, but he stopped driving at 4 p.m. yesterday. It's now 9 a.m. So the thing cold soaked overnight. It's a big battery pack. It takes time for it to cool down. We're gonna plug it into this 350 kilowatt Electrify America DC fast charger and see how bad it is. He did drive over here in winter mode, which could help warm up the battery pack. And that's the whole idea. The scenario we're trying to simulate is you live in an urban environment with an IONIQ 5, you gotta go, you don't have home charging, you have to DC fast charge it and it gets cold where you are. So let's simulate that experience, a 15-mile drive after a cold soak overnight. Let's see what it does. So the charger is activated with Hyundai's 2-year free 30-minute Electrify America charging station sessions, which is very nice. What's the state of charge right now, do you know? Well, the charger will tell us when we plug it in. This little flap is quite aggravating. This little thing is getting in the way. All right, CCS, in you go. So it's plugged in. Hopefully we'll do some cable communication. It says initiating charging. If we take a look, it says payment declined. So your free charging didn't work.
Try again.
Come on, Hyundai. And now it won't release the connector. You gotta hit unlock on the key. Right. And then it still won't release the connector. Really?
Yeah, the app's just saying initiating charging.
And the app's stuck. Sometimes the Electrify America app gets stuck from time to time.
Nope.
Nope.
Charging? Please unplug.
Please unplug. Yeah, there we go. What was that noise?
Charging unsuccessful.
Charging unsuccessful, and it just said that in the car. Wow. All right, thank you. We added 000. Really, it says it put in 0.008 kilowatt hours. I don't think it sent anything to the car. Maybe that's what it was billing us for.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Anyway, we'll try again. Why would it say please plug in and then payment declined? Or, you know, this process is annoying. All right, Zach, do the honors.
Try it. Here we go.
There we go. In we go. Let's see what it says. Please plug in, connecting to vehicle. I hear cable cooling, initiating charging. All sounds good. Yeah, the car might say something to us. Initiating charging still. Talk to each other.
It's a long handshake.
Oh yeah, the handshakes are brutal.
They have a really good secret handshake.
Yeah, it's a very secret handshake. And it's ISO 15118 is the handshake, I think, and it goes through a list of cable checks, connection checks, battery isolation, payment, whole bunch of stuff. Still initiating. This is not normal.
Yeah, it didn't take this long last time.
Didn't take this long last time. Well, I guess we'll wait. We'll wait it out.
350's down.
Yeah, the other 350 kilowatt doesn't work actually.
I guess we could try the other handle.
Yeah, we could try the other handle. That could be. This is great.
You live for this.
Honestly, I really haven't had many issues with Electrify America recently. Yeah. It's all worked pretty solid, I would say, as a whole.
Yeah.
Would be nice if this station had two working 350 kilowatts.
How long has this one been down?
I don't know how long that's been down. The first time I came here was in a long time, was when we did our first videos last week.
Oh, okay.
But it hasn't been fixed in a week. So, yeah, we know it's been 7 days and it hasn't been fixed. Jordan, you want to show that screen while we're waiting for nothing to happen here?
Will it eventually just time out?
Yeah, it'll eventually just time out.
Try the other handle. Maybe that's the magic.
What a lovely way to spend the morning. Let's try this one. All right. So,
you're late for work.
I'm going to plug in. Boom, in, nice connection. I'm gonna hold up on the connection to get the communication pins to touch. So I'm just putting a little bit of upwards pressure here on the handle. Hopefully that will help. I don't know. Look, Polestar 2 rolling in.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Initiating charging. I hear a click. Let's see how bad this thing cold gates. Cable cooling's on. Come on, charger. Charging started.
The car said
goodness. All right, let's get out of the way of this Polestar 2, Jordan. Wow, look at this, all the way up to 62 kilowatts. We actually did this same test the other day where we basically cold soaked this thing, similar conditions, colder temperatures, and it went right up to 62, 63 kilowatts. Same exact starting power at the same state of charge at 20%. So yeah, it's doing 62, 63 kilowatts. We have not been able to get this car down into the 30 range at all. Wouldn't you say, Zach? I mean, the last time we left it out overnight, it was 15. We were here, it was 12 degrees. So I'm not quite sure.
And we took it on our range test. We left winter mode off, and we pulled into the charger with a snowflake on the battery.
Yep, so definitely seems like maybe the US spec batteries on these are a little bit better than the Euro cars. We'll keep an eye on this charging rate and we'll let you know what happens. So let's explain kind of the peak. Right now we're doing, again, about 68 kilowatt delivered, maybe 64, 65 into the car. There's always charging losses within the car. It has to run pumps and heaters and other stuff. Normally, well, actually we're up to 70 kilowatts now. As it warms up, we should see faster charging. And right now, if it was totally warm, it'd be doing 235, 240 kilowatt peak, no problem. So definitely cold gating, but 68 kilowatts on a letting it cold soak overnight really isn't too bad. So I'm pretty impressed with the US spec battery on this car. 71 kilowatts being cold soaked. It's not the end of the world. So we've been here for about 9 or 10 minutes and we see no sign of it actually warming up. We actually were at 71 kilowatts and now we're down to 61. I believe the other day when we did this test, I think the car was a little bit warmer, even though it sat outside overnight cold. It was actually in Zach's garage with the garage door cracked. And so I was like, that's not the way we do a cold test. We need to get this thing really cold. But we're seeing the same behavior today. The only thing I can think of as to why the power went down is that because the battery pack's cold, the resistance is higher in the pack, therefore it actually can't charge that fast deeper in. But still 60 kilowatts and it's below freezing right now. Feels warm to us because it's been really, really cold the last week here. But I would say that's acceptable speeds, I think. What's interesting is it's not warming up.
I really like it.
We met a guy behind us with a Polestar 2 who has the new on-route battery preconditioning. He's like transformed the driving experience. So we really need on-route battery preconditioning in this, but still naturally pulling in cold, 60 kilowatts, and that's us trying to get this thing cold. Ooh, it's not the end of the world, I think. Well, we've been here for I don't know how long. Let's take a look. And it's not improving is the point here, which is interesting because I would think it'd charge enough to warm a bit. It does have battery heating capability. Did you stop it?
Yeah, I stopped it.
Oh, okay. We were here from 20 to 44% in 18 minutes, and we were doing 57 kilowatts at the end.
It gave us 19 kilowatts total.
Gave us 19 kilowatt hours in 18 minutes, which is not very good. But again, it's cold, so we kind of expected it to be not very good. The reason we're unplugging, and I'm going to plug back in, is because I just want to make sure it wasn't like a weird communication thing with the charger. I just want to plug it in, and if it goes up to 200 kilowatts now, well then that'd be an interesting test. So I can't imagine that it would go down in charging speeds because it should have warmed up enough. I mean, the 60 kilowatts is enough to warm up the pack pretty quickly. So why don't we try handle number 1 again? Because this is actually what we used last time and it worked pretty well. In we go. I'm going to hold up on the handle. You're going to swipe to activate. Already have. Initiating charging. I'm going to hold up, pressure up here. This is the bolt trick you have to do with bolts. All seems good. Heard it, the connector lock in. Cable cooling's going. Contactors are clicking. It's starting to feel cold out here now.
Yeah, it's cold.
The handles are so cold. These cables and everything. I can't even touch the metal. It's frozen.
Yeah, I think Electrify on the app, it did say one of the cables was down.
On this one? Oh, now it says charging started. It doesn't make sense because both are working.
Yeah.
And the only reason it would show down maybe is because we plugged in.
Yeah,
So it would show
says
one
it's
is
going.
available.
Yeah. On the app it says it's
Initiating charging. So it's good. Let's check the car speed. All right, let's see what we're doing. Climate control's off. We have 600 miles, 63 kilowatts. That's all she wants. So it's still cold. There's no other 350 kilowatt charger that works that we could try. So this is the second time we've seen this behavior. Although when we got up to 70 or 80% last time, when we performed this test, it was doing 100 plus kilowatts. Yeah, now it's backed its way down to 53. Anyway, I think we've proven, of course it does Coldgate. We knew that. It doesn't seem to be as bad as the Euro cars. But I think we should end the video here, drive it really hard to 0, and then start doing some deep charging sessions with a warm pack. What do you say, Jordan?
Let's do it.
All right.